Welcome to KELA's Let's Talk About It, coming to you live from the KELA Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel Broadcast Studio in Centralia. Join us for a discussion on a variety of topics of interest to Southwest Washington area listeners. Keep our listener call-in and text line handy. 330-5352. That's 330-KELA. Views expressed on the show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, management, or advertisers. Daily programs are recorded for playback, podcasts, and promotional purposes. And now, let's talk about it.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Let's Talk About It show here on AM1470 KELA and KELAAM.com. I'm your host on this Monday after Thanksgiving edition of the Let's Talk About It show. I'm your host, Peter Abbarno, and my special guest today, Kim Witham with the Forgotten Children's Fund. If you are a regular listener to the Let's Talk About It show, then you've heard us talk about the mission of the Forgotten Children's Fund, what they do for our community, what they do for families, and how they make just an amazing impact. Because look, once you get past Thanksgiving, it is happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we are full speed ahead. I think kids have like 2 or 3 weeks left of school before the holidays. And a lot of families, and I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, are struggling. Look, fourth highest grocery costs in the nation, among the highest taxes in the nation, fuel costs the highest in the nation. Families who were struggling last year and the year before are struggling even more this year. And so it's incumbent upon a lot of us to give when we can and to support organizations that are giving back and really supporting our local families and our local kids so they can have a good holiday and they can get a step above and a step ahead. And with me again, Kim Witham, Forgotten Children's Fund. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having us this morning.
Absolutely. Such a good organization. For those who don't know what the Forgotten Children's Fund is, shame on you, but there are people who don't. So let's talk a little bit about what the organization is, your mission, and a little bit of background on, how it got started.
So the organization as a whole started in 1976 by a letter left by a little boy named Craig. And it really captured the heart with Mr. Dick Francisco, and a group of attorneys actually started the Forgotten Children's Fund. And this letter was left behind in a restaurant. And it was basically a very sad letter that says, please don't forget us this year. And at the end of the day, there was some people who really tried to find this little boy and his family and donate to families that needed a hand up. And since then, back in, 14 years ago, Mark and I decided to bring it down to Lewis County and serve the families here in Lewis County.
So it starts with a little boy named Craig writes a letter to Santa Claus. It does not get delivered to the real Santa Claus, which we all know exists. It got delivered to Francisco's, right?
Right. And it left behind in a restaurant.
Left behind in a restaurant. And we're going to let you read that letter because it is an impactful letter. And for any of you who haven't heard it before, it really is the theme of what this organization does. So Kim, read the letter from Craig, written in December of 1976.
Dear Santa, Mama said you got lost last year and couldn't find your way to our house. We really missed you, especially my little sisters. Please come this year, Santa. We are being very good. Mama says you'll get lost again. Maybe. So here is a map. Love, Craig. P.S. Don't leave anything for Dad because he isn't here anymore.
I mean, such a heart-wrenching letter to read. And heart-wrenching because it's a real letter, a real story from this little boy named Craig. And we know, and I've helped volunteer with this organization before, we know there are stories like that in our own community.
Oh, it's, we started our process here a couple weeks ago, and the stories that I'm reading are they're heart-wrenching, and they're families that really just need a hand up. And what is amazing about our community is we meet the families where their needs are. One of our biggest things that has been requested from parents is please don't bring toys, bring food.
Yeah.
And that is really tough to read.
Yeah, no, it is. And, I started the show off, and this is a downer, but it's also about hope, which I know the organization's about. But, when you have among the highest fuel costs in the nation and highest grocery costs in the nation, it hits the people who can least afford it. And that's the folks that this organization is really trying to give a hand up and say, hey, look, you struggle all year long, but this is the holiday. We want to give you and your children that kind of hand up during the holidays when it hurts the most.
Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of families that just have more month at the end of their money, and we want to try to meet them and greet them, and it's really special. Our organization, Santa comes for a visit with his team of elves, and we open a present with each child, and mom and dad or grandma and grandpa are there. It's just a really magical piece of the holidays, and really it came out of complete love for communities. That's where it started, and that's what we hope to continue to give.
If you're just tuning into the Let's Talk About It show here on AM1470 KELA or KELAAM.com, I'm your host this morning, Peter Abbarno, with Kim Witham, and we're talking about the Forgotten Children's Fund and their mission, what they do, and how they help our community members. And so, Kim, just this morning, I had someone say to me, because I told them I was doing the Forgotten Children's Fund show, and they said, you know what? I never told you this, but you were my Santa who came to my house when I was sick and gave a holiday for me and my family. And that means a lot because, most people don't know who you are, and you do it anonymously, and it for good reason. But it's nice to know that you made a difference and help people get through a tough time.
We've had just here recently, I had someone reach out. I was in need of a Spanish elf and a Spanish-speaking elf, and I had somebody who had received before reach out and say, I'd love to donate back. And I love that. I love all of that people, when they receive, it impacts them enough to carry it forward for years to come. And we've had that through a number of years through volunteers who have received. It's quite magical, actually.
Well, and this is, the quote unquote season of giving. But what's really good about a lot of organizations, including the Forgotten Children's Fund, is that for people who don't volunteer all year long, this may be that one organization, that one time that sparks interest in year-round giving and volunteering, which every community needs more of.
Yeah, I mean, we continue to receive donations all year. And one of the things that Santa does is when he visits, he brings, 3 toys, a coat, a hat, gloves, books, stockings. It's a magical experience. And then, of course, barring the donations, this year we've been locally blessed with McCallum Rock to donate food for our families. So I think it's just an effort in the community that brings teamwork from all different walks of life that bring it together and breathe hope and love right back into our little community.
Yeah, and what's great about the Forgotten Children's Fund too is that, it's not just about toys. I mean, toys put smiles on the kid's face, but that hand up mentality of, hey, if we can fill up some of your pantry, if we can give you some food, if we can give the kids books, if we can try to normalize life at least through the season, maybe that can change and create the hope that maybe lasts all year long.
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting. Yesterday we received a text, thankfully, and we are just so blessed. Our organization has been for years. The women of the Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Church hand sews, like I have to say that slowly because I can't even sew a button on, to be fair. They hand sew these quilts, and they have collected over 115 quilts. And then we have another private donor that does another 50 a year. That's amazing. And that when you have requests for extra blankets, it's not just a flimsy little fleece blanket. It's a quilt that somebody has taken the time to make, and they're beautiful. They're amazing.
Yeah, I mean, they're amazing, and they've done it now a couple years in a row, right?
It's been, I think they're close to the beginning, so I would say over 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty amazing. And so how do we identify these families? I mean, how do you, there's a lot of families in need, and you can't help every single one, although you want to. So how do you kind of go through that process, figure out what families you can help, and then maybe talk a little bit about then how do you engage with that family?
So families come nominated through our schools, our public school system and private school system here in Lewis County. And then we work closely with all the counselors and principals of K6. And then, of course, people can apply on ForgottenChildren'sFund.org, and those come. And then we have a team of elves that work directly with the families, and they have dialogue with the families, a very confidential, private dialogue. And then we go through their process. We have a mission that we help families, we give a hand up. And so therefore, if that works out, then on the December 23rd, we have a team of elves and Santas, right around a dozen or so Santas, and then their team of elves go out into the community from Packwood to, clear out at the East End, the West End, PL. And then, of course, we actually have encumbered South Thurston County with Grand Mound and Rochester.
And when you talk about, the elves reach out to the families, is that to figure out some of their specific needs? Is there a boy or a girl in the house? Do they ride a bike or not? Or what kind of books do they need?
We're really looking for the family to share their experience of talk about their children. And we want to make the experience so magical that there are times where the parents share a little bit about what the kids' needs are, and then we're able to accommodate that as the donations come in. And one of the things, we've had over the years, parents with kids with special needs, and we've been able to accommodate those as well. We've had situations that are just really, really grave and sad. We've gotten calls where mom isn't going to make it till Christmas, and we've had to go visit before the 23rd. And so we try to eliminate the sadness of whatever is going on in their world and try to level the playing field and just give them 30 to 40 minutes of hope.
Yeah. And if you're just tuning into the Let's Talk About It show, I'm your host this morning, Peter Abbarno, and my special guest is Kim Witham, and we're talking about the Forgotten Children's Fund. And Kim, you had mentioned a little bit about some of those parents and family situations. I mean, I've been part of that. You've been part of even more, for sure. How do some of the volunteers deal with that? I mean, it's because it takes its toll. There's been a lot of tears after those.
Definitely is sad. I still get teary reading that letter. One of the best things that we have, years and years ago, we partnered with the Moose Lodge, and they provided dinner after our delivery day, and everyone can come together, and we have like this debriefing, and the elves and the Santas get to share their stories. Those stories impact those volunteers for years to come. They never forget how they felt when they were with those families, and they don't forget some of the things that they've seen. Yeah.
No, they don't. And that gives them an opportunity, a little cathartic dinner together or meet up afterwards to at least, talk about those situations. I mean, again, everything is completely confidential, but your emotions aren't always confidential, right? You talk about kind of what, how it impacts you.
Yeah, there's number one rule, no crying when you're an elf.
Yep.
You have to go to the sleigh. So, and we've all been there. I myself have had to remove myself because I don't want to be teary. But the story is, we know the background, right? I've seen the background of these families. And so it's really magical. And if you believe in the Christmas spirit and you believe in the magic of Christmas, that's what we're trying to give back to our community.
Yeah. Well, we got a caller. Let's take a call. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning.
Good morning.
This is Dennis Steiger, Lewis County Farm Bureau President. I'd like to talk about an event we're doing next Sunday for toys for kids and stuff.
Okay, make it quick because we got the Forgotten Children's Fund on today. We've got a guest.
All right. Next Sunday at 3 to 7 p.m. at the Red Event Center out on Goff Road out there towards Adna. We are doing a fundraiser. We're going to, bring a toy or food. Get in for free, and there's going to be live music, vending trucks. We have some local people bringing their products there to sell, and just going to have a great time and
perfect.
Bring some toys we're working with the Veterans Museum to bring some toys to them for their events.
Okay. And it's Sunday. What time Sunday?
3 to 7.
3 to 7. Okay. And again, where's it at?
It's at 207 Goff Road. It's right across from Dirty Thumb.
Perfect.
On Highway 6.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks for calling in. And if anybody's out there listening to the show, it spurs, right? I mean, it's the giving mood, right? It's the giving season, and there's a lot of different organizations that have different methods for delivery. And I mean, Toys for Tots, this type of toy drive, they're all super important.
They are.
You know, and yours is different too. And, you know, trying to really dial down. I mean, it's kind of like a lot of back to school drives. I mean, working through the counselors who know the kids. I really like that idea. You know, not to say anybody takes advantage of it, but you really want to go and get to the families who need it the most, who the counselors know. They know the kids. They've kind of, I don't want to say vetted, but boy, you want to make the biggest difference you can, because resources are limited even for organizations.
Well, they know our program, and they know our mission, and they know that we look for families that are looking to have a hand up, or better yet, wouldn't ask, right?
That's the big one.
Those are the families that we look for nominations, is that they wouldn't ask for help, but you know that this might just be the bridge that gets them over.
And that's the big one. There's a lot of families who, you know, for pride or any other reason, may not have asked, or may not even ask for a hand up or a handout or anything. And so looking at the counselors, looking at the nomination process, you kind of say, this is a family who may not know or may not ask, but boy, they need it.
Yeah. I mean, we've had stories of houses burned down, or, you know, parents passing away, grandparents raising their children, all of those things.
Yeah. And so you mentioned one of your big sponsors, especially of the food, McCallum, right?
Yeah, McCallum Rock has done a really great job. Of course, you can take any donation to Centralia or Chehalis Les Schwab. They've been a supporter from day one.
They've been awesome.
And so whether it's financial or toys, coats, of course, Mail Plus, Dwayne over there has done our flyers, our boxes, all the toy drops. Oli Fed this year has come up and stepped up as well. And then, of course, we've partnered at GISA. All the GISA locations as well can accept donations.
So when you say that they can accept donations, can you bring you just drop things off? What are you looking for? I mean, I'm sure you can't just drop off a used toy or something.
No,
that's
we
unboxed.
look for it's all new toys, new coats, new hats, new gloves, new blankets. We of course accept new bikes, and anything financial. Sometimes people just don't have the time to go and do the shopping, which is great as well, and we can accept financial donations as well.
And that's always a good one. I know that people have dropped off gift cards, especially gift cards to, you know, grocery outlet or full, right, for groceries. Yes. They've dropped off regular gift cards, but we have, as what you have, I mean, the organization has, I mean, there's been times where there's a stop at a family and you got to run out and buy something because, you know, you didn't know because of the application process, right? A boy or a girl wanted a bike, and then the other one's jealous because they may not have asked for one, and you don't want to walk away not getting one.
Yeah, we've made last minute magic happen every year. There's always a story of a family that just needed one more thing, and you know, we have runners, and the warehouse is managed by Mark, who does it's like the beehive. He's like the center of all of it. And there are volunteers that just run and drop things to meet the teams of elves. It's a really big magical moment that day. Yeah.
And so since 2014, you know, we're going on, this is 11 years. How many families do you think you've helped so far? I mean, it's got to be a lot, because I know you have, you know, that spider web of elves and Santas going out in the entire community.
Yeah, it's somewhere over 1,500 just in Lewis County. I mean, it's thousands and thousands and throughout the organization, because really the Forgotten Children's Fund, starting in Seattle, you know, they service King County, Snohomish, Whatcom. I mean, there's quite a few branches of it. Mm-hmm. So in Lewis County, it's been over 1,500 families.
That's a lot. I mean, that's a lot of families.
And typically we don't serve the same family year to year. You know, there's been very, very few situations that we do. It has to be a very extenuating circumstance, but we definitely have reached out to our community and hopefully brought hope.
Well, that's great. If you're tuning into the Let's Talk About It show here on AM1470 KELA or KELAAM.com, I'm your host, Peter Abbarno, with Kim Witham and the Forgotten Children's Fund. We're going to take, I think, a quick break for our sponsors, though I don't hear anything. That's kind of interesting. So maybe we're not going to take a quick break for our sponsors. All right. Maybe not. All right. Well, I'm going to stop it because I don't hear anything, so we're not going to do it.
Well, I'll take a break then.
Yeah, you do the break.
Okay, so this Friday from 9 to 5, Lewis County Title, Auntie Brown, who is just a great advocate for the Forgotten Children's Fund, helps host a toy drive. And they do it on Friday and Saturday. So if you're headed out to the Chehalis Parade on Saturday, you could stop by and drop a toy or a financial donation. Lewis County Title, right there on Market Street in Chehalis, will be accepting toys and financial donations to the Forgotten Children's Fund.
And when is that?
It's Friday all day and Saturday all day.
And that's a fun event. I mean, I've been to those before, and people can just come by and not only see and be able to donate, but you also get to see some of the people who are sponsoring the good events. I mean,
right? They just have a great event that you'll see them dressed up. They'll be out there waving. They start on December 5th and 6th, and they just really, it's a big support. You know, the Northwest Hardwoods, Cascade Hardwoods, both of them also have been great supporters over the years with bringing in donations and bikes and food. Those are all important pieces that go to our delivery.
That's awesome. And so to talk about some of the other, because I know there's a bunch of sponsors. I mean, we talked about McCallum. Who else did we talk about?
Well, we have Book and Brush.
We talked about Oli Fed. We talked about Giza.
Mm-hmm.
So who else do we have? Because I know there's a ton of them that donate specific things. And you just mentioned Book and Brush because I looked over at your notes when I said that. Because they do books, right?
Yeah,
so,
they make a big donation. Of course, my office, downtown Chehalis at Olympic Sotheby's, also takes donations. We have Les Schwab in Centralia, Chehalis, St. Timothy Church, the Providence Hospital, the fire stations, Chimmy's in Morton. We just are so thankfully blessed to have partnered with lots of organizations as far as businesses, and just really reach out and collect those donations and help bring that back to our community.
Well, that's great. And so just because I don't want to get too far into the show because we only have about 5. Oh.
Home is where your story begins, and Real Estate Marketing Group offers more service, more opportunity. As a proven leader in the industry, they are the company to represent your investment property. If you're looking to rent, buy, sell, or manage your property, Real Estate Marketing Group has you covered. They're located on Jackson Highway and at re-mgi.com. Real Estate Marketing Group is here for all your real estate needs. Real Estate Marketing Group. They do more.
What if you got an instant message warning you're about to be in a car accident?
As soon as you back out of your driveway, your neighbor's teenage daughter will clip your bumper as she speeds by. Wait, what?
If life came with warnings, you wouldn't need Althauser, Ray, and Abbarno. We have a team of seasoned attorneys. Call now for your free consultation, 360-736-1301 or centralialaw.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Hi, this is Alicia Fox with Tree Management Plus in Toledo. For nearly 50 years, our family-owned business has specialized in forestry management, logging, thinning, reforestation, and more. After most logging jobs, we plant new trees because our company and our clients care about the environment. Over the years, Tree Management Plus has planted tens of millions, that's right, tens of millions of trees. Whether you own 5 acres or 500, trust Tree Management Plus to partner with you to manage your land. Visit us at treemanagementplus.com and like us on Facebook.
You're listening to KELA's Let's Talk About It, coming to you live from the KELA Lucky Eagle Casino and Hotel Broadcast Studio in the beautiful Twin Cities. Let's talk about it.
Welcome back to the Let's Talk About It show on AM1470 KELA and KELAAM.com. I'm your host this morning, this Monday after Thanksgiving edition of the Let's Talk About It show. I'm your host, Peter Abbarno, with my special guest, Kim Witham, with the Forgotten Children's Fund. Kim, I knew that there would eventually be a commercial break.
Perfect.
I mean, it just happens that way, right? I mean, we roll with it. We roll with surprises. We get through it because it's the holiday season. We're not going to let things get us down.
No.
Not even the fact that yesterday had sun, but we may not see the sun again for another 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, I saw the weather report and I was like, Santa's sleigh is going to be a little bit brisk.
It is. It's cold and it's brisk. And we were just talking about the Light of Tractor Parade's coming up on the 13th. And KELA KMNT is going to be there on West Magnolia and Tower. And I usually announce that, and I usually announce it, at least like as long as you've been doing this.
Yeah,
we usually
come down and see you.
Yeah, for like 12, 14 years. It's going to be cold, but it doesn't stop us. And like there's been times that the Forgotten Children's Fund has been cold and wet and dry and sunny.
Do you guys all remember the Year of the Ice?
I do remember. I remember some elves skating quite a bit.
Yeah, there was definitely, I was more worried about broken tailbones, but Santa arrived, and that to me was the year that magic truly happened. We had inches of ice, definitely some delays, and we were still able to get 70% of our delivery out that day.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
But I remember there were some roads that were tricky, and I think you just decided we're going to do it on Christmas Eve. We're going to wait a day, let it get salted or sanded, but you trudge through it, and really to the benefit of all your volunteers and your sponsors. And right before the break, we were talking about some of those sponsors. So let's talk about some of the other sponsors that you have, because you have a lot of community support.
We do, and we're forever grateful that these sponsors come together to bring hope. We have Mail Plus, Book and Brush, Olympic Sotheby's International Realty, Les Schwab of Centralia and Chehalis. We have Providence Hospital, St. Timothy Church, the Moose Lodge, the fire stations, Lewis County Title, Northwest Hardwoods. We have Cascade Hardwoods, OliFed, Gisa. If I kept going, we would be here all night. But I am just so internally grateful for our community to raise up enough to come together and bring hope for Christmas for these families.
Yeah, and you're still collecting donations, right?
Yeah, we will collect donations.
Right up to it.
Right up to it, yeah.
I mean, even some of the elves, when we've done Santa and elves with Holly and I know that we would stop at like a coffee stand and buy a bunch of gift cards just for extra stuff the morning we will go out to deliver. You'll collect it.
Well, I think you have the teenagers that you go and, Santa walks into a house and it's, if you're 13 to 17, that's not cool. It's not cool to be, they're a little bit uneasy, right? And you've walked into their safe domain. And so I think it helps break the ice. They just want to be like everybody else. And I think that the coffee cards allow them to go with their friends. What's the coffee shop? Dutch Brothers.
Dutch Brothers, yeah.
Every teenager knows where that's at.
That's right. Dutch Brothers, Lewis County Coffee. There's a million coffee stands,
we definitely
collect them all.
Yeah, Avenue. Lewis County Coffee is a huge supporter. Of course, Fiddlers. Yep. Joe and his team over there have done stuff for us for years.
Yeah, no, it's really fantastic. So you're still collecting new toys, coats, hats, books, blankets, gift cards, gas cards, grocery cards. And let's remind everyone where they can drop it off in advance.
You can drop it off at any Centralia, Chehalis, Les Schwab, all Gisas, OliFed. And, you can always visit the website at www.forgottenchildrensfund.org.
Yep, it's forgottenchildrensfund.org. And I just want to thank Kim, you and Mark for starting this locally, this local branch and organization of the Forgotten Children's Fund to help our families out. Appreciate everything you do, and just remind people that you can go to those locations, go to the ForgottenChildren'sFund.org, help out, and look. This is the season of giving, lots of opportunities to give. Start this season and do it all year long. Don't stop. Again, thanks for listening to KELA, KELAAM.com.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Merry
Kim.
Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas, everyone.
From the KE